Well, we're back after a week hiatus. The Tim Quill Coach's Corner. Back here for our next episode. Again, no show last week as the team did not have a competition the week prior. But you were in action last weekend, going up against the College in New Jersey. The women's squad came away with a win. Men's squad came up a little bit short. But give us your takeaways on the performances that you saw against TCNJ last time out.
Well, Mike, we always enjoy competing against the College of New Jersey. Great Division III program. A little different this year because we used to use this meet as an opportunity to kind of gauge where our program was in comparison to another conference team, because we used to compete in the Metropolitan Conference, but with a change in our conference schedule, we no longer compete against TCNJ in a conference format. So it took on a little bit different flavor, but I got a lot of respect for Brian Bishop and Jennifer Harnett. We of course thank them for coming up here. Swimming up against a powerhouse like TCNJ, especially on the men's side, I think it went as expected. But I think the men really stepped up to the plate, and just to see some of the freshmen and how they're responding to college competition just gives us a little better sense as to what we need to be thinking about and focusing in on over the next few months to get prepared for our conference meet. Of course, the women won and swam very well, and I think that's kind of what we were expecting, being 6+ weeks into a season. But again, just seeing a lot of the freshmen, a lot of new faces, seeing the depth of our women's program, it's enjoyable to watch at this particular point, and it's actually pretty enjoyable to put a meet lineup together finally, with options.
And I know, of course, just a few days away now from the alumni meet, alumni events that you have surrounding this weekend, plenty of awards and pomp and circumstance to go with it. With all that said, how excited are you to see some familiar faces, some old but familiar faces back here on campus this weekend?
Very excited. It's always nice to see the alumni come back and support the program. Sometimes we have 60, 70 alumni hit the water, some dating all the way back into the 1960s. Of course, the alumni win. 56 years of that cheating tradition that they tend to bring. But our program, the program of today, will certainly not do that, and they'll put their best foot forward and represent Southern Connecticut to the best of their ability. Following our dual meet, we will have a nice banquet up by the football field, and we're going to give away 2 prestigious alumni awards. One is the Kay Fromer Award, which will be given to Laura McLaughlin, who is an actual athlete that I trained one of my first years here, and the Bruce Hutchinson Award, which will be given to Paul Davis. And Paul Davis has not only been an alumni and a great member of the men's swim program dating back to the Bruce Hutchinson years, but he's stayed actively involved in Connecticut swimming. He's been a state representative for the state of Connecticut, so he continues to give back, and it'll just be great to recognize these 2 very special individuals.
And of course, a few of your former student athletes also helped out here in athletic communications through the years. I've gotten a couple of texts and calls already, so we'll leave them nameless. Some of them are infamous, to begin with.
I'm sure.
But I'm sure it'll be a good time nonetheless here this weekend. Give you a little tease here. We'll save it for next week. We'll talk a little bit more in depth the next time, but a couple of former Owls will be part of Southern Connecticut's highest athletic honor, and that will be formally unveiled this weekend. Coach, again, we'll talk about that a little more. We don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet, but certainly the proud tradition of Southern Connecticut swimming and diving will again be on full display as we talk about it a little bit later on. But let's go one more question on the alumni meet for you.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that it is such a reunion, such a gathering point? You have I know there's some alums that are flying in here this weekend from around the country.
Yes.
What has led to that connection and that bond through the years across the program?
Well, I think it all dates back to the founder of the program, Bruce Hutchinson. not only being a tremendous coach and has nothing but the highest respect from his athletes, the people that are involved in the sport of swimming, but you know, I think one thing that he did very, very well, and I knew was always going to be a challenge when I took this position, is how he stayed in contact with the actual alumni. You know, every year I meet new alumni that come back and talk about the Hutch years, and you know, he was here for 38 years. He did an incredible job, and obviously the founder of the men's program. So, you know, it's things like that that I think really contribute to the tradition that, you know, has been created here. You know, 56 years of men's swimming. The women's program, you know, dating back to the Kay Fromer years, you know, there is a lot of tradition here, and it is just great to see them come back and tell the old stories of what it was like to be at Southern Connecticut back in the 60s and the 70s, and you know, and I think that they have a lot of respect for the program of today. I think that they have a lot of pride in Southern Connecticut, and I think it's just great for the team of today to actually hear those stories and to meet these fine individuals that come back and support them morally and financially on a yearly basis.
You have a situation this weekend where you will have the alumni meet, and there will be some level of competition that goes with that, of course. But you have 3 weeks, in essence, without the intercollegiate action. With all that said, as you look at this cumulative window here, is there anything that you'll try to look to address individually or collectively with the team as part of the building process, you know, for later on in the season?
Yeah, you know, whenever you have swim meets coming up, it's kind of difficult sometimes to follow the training schedule that you know that you should be following. So this week we're back to testing. This will be our second round of testing of 4 or 5 different standardized tests that we do with the team. See what type of progress that they've made. Hopefully it has been good progress, and as far as the results of our first test, which dated back to Monday of this past week, it looks like everybody's made some pretty good progress in the past 6 weeks. But now what we do is we take these results and now set the bar for the future, because although we have been very, very successful in this sport and in this conference, we don't take anything for granted. I mean, it is talent brings you so far. It's the hard work, the commitment, the dedication, the sacrifice that brings you the rest of the way. And I think that's really what we're focusing in now. And having a few weeks off from competition is a good thing for us, because now we can really focus in on the hard training that is involved with being highly successful in this sport.
Well, Coach, all the best this weekend with the alumni meet and all the festivities. We will chat again soon. Again, all the best. Thank
Sounds
you.
great.
Thank you for tuning in. Have a great week, everyone.